The fast-paced nature of TV production makes it difficult for even the most creative and ambitious of storytellers to deviate much from the established format, and so it's incredibly rare for episodes of shows to take a sharp left turn from a template that works. These episodes represent TV at its most fearlessly creative, proving what can be done when a skilled cast and crew commit themselves to doing something truly out there. So let's dive in. I'm Adam, this is What Culture, and here are 10 experimental TV episodes you need to see. Number 10, Part 8, Twin Peaks: The Return. David Lynch is nothing if not an inherently experimental artist, but the 8th episode of his belated 3rd season of Twin Peaks? It's like nothing else the medium of TV has ever seen before. Even for Twin Peaks' singular standards, Part 8 is an extremely challenging but mesmerizing hour, detailing the origins of the series' villain Bob in the fallout of 1945's Trinity atomic bomb test, realized here through stunningly gorgeous CGI. The dialogue-sparse episode is vague even for Lynch, yet nevertheless serves as ground zero for the series' entire central conflict, all while delivering a mini-horror movie involving terrifying, ghoul-like woodsmen and a frog moth creature which finds a home inside of a young girl's mouth. Yeah, that Showtime willingly gave Lynch money to produce what's perhaps the single most abstract episode of anything ever aired on linear television is truly something to celebrate, and it remains one of the finest things he's ever produced. Even if you've never seen an episode of Twin Peaks before, Part 8 is worth watching simply for its intoxicating mood and beautiful visuals. Number 9, Paradigms of Human Memory: Community. Now, in fairness, this list could consist entirely of Community episodes, given the beloved sitcom often gets really weird with its conceptual storytelling in the best ways. But perhaps the most inspired of all the experimental Community episodes is Season 2's Paradigms of Human Memory, with the study group recalling events from the past year in the vein of a prototypical sitcom clip show. Yet, there's a twist. All of the clips featured throughout the episode consist entirely of new material shot specifically for it, with the cast shooting over 70 new fragments of scenes to be included as flashbacks. Considering that the clip show is one of the stalest and laziest episode types imaginable, typically produced to cut costs and pad out a series' episode order as it approaches the syndication threshold, to see Community aggressively send it up so cleverly was a massive treat. It's also where the show's soon-to-be-realized rallying cry of 6 seasons and a movie was born. This ingenious concept was repeated in the Season 3 episode Curriculum Unavailable, though it's safe to say that the sequel lacked much of the freshness and inventiveness of the original iteration. Number 8, Two Storms: The Haunting of Hill House. There are many great examples of TV shows executing single-take scenes, or wanners, to bewildering effect, of using unbroken shots to more deeply immerse the audience in what's unfolding on screen. One of the most jaw-droppingly impressive renditions of this concept to date can be seen in Mike Flanagan's excellent horror drama series, The Haunting of Hill House. The season's 6th episode, Two Storms, saw its near hour-long runtime unfold over the course of just 5 lengthy single takes, with 2 of them alone clocking in at roughly 20 minutes each. It's all the more stunning as the episode alternates between the past and present in 2 different locations, Hill House and a funeral parlor, with mesmerizingly seamless transitions between both casts and sets. This was achieved by Flanagan having the 2 sets built next to each other, allowing both the casts and camera crew to slyly move between the sets without the camera needing to cut. Production of the episode was hugely complicated, with camera movements, cast blocking, and lighting extensively rehearsed to accommodate the most mundane details, while sets also had to include hiding places for the cast and crew to avoid being captured on film during transitions. All of the technical ingenuity was in the service of creating a dreamlike tableau that so expertly brought the past and present colliding together. Masterful stuff. Number 7, The Betrayal: Seinfeld. Seinfeld certainly wasn't the first sitcom to tinker around with non-linear presentation. Take Red Dwarf's unforgettable Backwards. But Seinfeld's 9th season episode The Betrayal is perhaps this concept's most inspired iteration. A glorious homage to Harold Pinter's play Betrayal, The Betrayal unfolds in reverse order, beginning with the story's chronological final scene and working its way backwards. The episode starts with the gang returning from Sue Ellen's wedding in India and unfurls in reverse from there, resulting in a slew of shenanigans, including Elaine getting wasted on peach snaps, Kramer faking his death to avoid the wrath of FDR, and George refusing to go to the toilet for the entire trip. The Betrayal is actually a relatively polarizing episode in the Seinfeld fandom, yet for a series to come up with something so structurally inventive in its final season is nevertheless majorly impressive. Number 6. 405 Method Not Allowed, Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot's incredible Season 4 episode 405 Method Not Allowed proves how powerful non-verbal storytelling can be, with the 49-minute episode unfolding with just 2 lines of book-ending dialogue, one at the beginning, another at the end. It begins with Darlene telling Elliot, "We don't have to talk," before the rest of the story, centered around the pair performing a heist hack at a service farm on Christmas Day, transpires wordlessly. Only in the final seconds of the episode do we hear another human voice, when Vera confronts Krista and says, "It's time we talk." In place of the chit-chat, 405 Method Not Allowed is propelled forward entirely by action and text message communication. The lack of verbalization prompts the audience to focus more on lingering shots and sound design, ensuring that while Mr. Robot is far from the first show to attempt a dialogue-free experiment, I'm looking at you, episode Hush from Season 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you are absolutely brilliant. The gut-wrenchingly tense end product is probably one of the most successful. Number 5. Once More with Feeling, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy Season 6 episode Once More with Feeling is the definitive example of a random musical episode in a non-musical TV series. Rather than simply produce a musical aside just because, Buffy came up with an in-universe reason to go all singing, all dancing, as the demonic entity Sweet forces the citizens of Sunnydale to suddenly break into song and reveal their inner feelings to those around them. It's a hugely ambitious undertaking for any show with almost every major member of the cast singing, even if Michelle Trachtenberg and Alison Hannigan asked series creator Joss Whedon to keep their vocal parts to a bare minimum. That the episode manages to feature original and genuinely great song and dance numbers while remaining true to the emotional core of its characters and storytelling is truly impressive. What could have been a mere goofy gimmick ended up as one of Buffy's finest hours. Number 4. The Kazanjian Brothers, The Blacklist. Not all experimental episodes are a result of inspiration so much as necessity, as was the case with Season 7's finale of The Blacklist, The Kazanjian Brothers. The episode was being shot when Hollywood was shut down at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and with the majority of the season having already been aired, the decision was made not to delay the finale's broadcast but generate the missing footage through animation instead. And so, Pre-Visualization Studio Proof was hired to create 20 minutes of comic book style animation to plug the gaps, while the cast members all recorded their dialogue from their homes. It's also the only episode in the series to break the fourth wall, as both the cast and crew directly address the audience at the beginning and end. While the episode itself received relatively mixed reviews for its writing and animation, it is nevertheless a fascinating and unique example of creatives pivoting in an especially tricky situation, and for that, if nothing else, it absolutely merits watching. Number 3. Fly, Breaking Bad. Bottle episodes are certainly not a new phenomenon in television, but they do afford creative writers the opportunity to do something wildly different with a given show's ongoing format. And arguably one of the best bottle episodes of all time is Fly, a Season 3 episode of Breaking Bad focused almost entirely around Walter and Jesse attempting to kill a pesky fly in the meth lab for fear that it will contaminate their meth cooking. Directed by Ryan Johnson and unsurprisingly terrifically acted, with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul as the only 2 main cast members who appear on screen in the episode, Fly is nevertheless something of a provocation to those who simply expected the show to keep its foot on the gas with regards to the wider narrative. Despite receiving rave reviews from critics, Fly was one of Breaking Bad's least viewed episodes on its initial release, as many clearly objected to a character-driven episode focused on Walter and Jesse doing something rather mundane. All the same, Fly remains proof that when you've got incredible writers, directors, and actors, even just the two of them, it's possible to produce can't-look-away television with modest resources. Number 2. Ambush ER. Once upon a time, when folks still gathered to watch TV in a more linear fashion, live episodes were all the rage, with the likes of The West Wing, Will and Grace, 30 Rock, and even The Simpsons producing episodes that were aired while they were being performed by the cast and crew. But surely the most fascinating instance of a live episode belongs to ER and its season 4 premiere, Ambush, which centers around a PBS documentary film crew filming a day at the hospital. While it's fair to say that the documentary gimmick provided a convenient excuse for the episode's less than perfect camera work and occasionally visible boom mics, you have to give the cast and crew credit for one majorly ballsy thing: doing it twice. To ensure that both the East and West Coast of the United States got to experience the phenomenon, the episode was performed and broadcast live twice on the same night, once for each time zone, 3 hours apart. Though in the event that either version went belly up due to technical issues, a version of the episode was also recorded prior to the live show as insurance. Few will hold up Ambush as one of ER's best ever episodes, but it is a fascinating and ambitious one all the same, especially with all the subtle differences between the two versions of the episode. Number 1. Baby Supernatural. Supernatural boasted a number of off-the-wall and deeply meta episodes throughout its 15-season run, yet the most unexpected and downright inventive of the lot is a bottle episode which serves as a tribute to effectively the series' third protagonist, Dean Winchester's beloved Impala. Indeed, Baby is all about Dean's precious car, and to reflect this, almost the entire episode is shot either within or on the Impala, in turn having the story transpire from the car's point of view. It was an extremely challenging assignment for the series' veteran director Thomas J. Wright, who was forced to get creative and find as many unique camera placements inside and on top of the car as possible. To say that he rises to the challenge is an understatement, delivering one of the show's most visually unique episodes, allowing fans to see one of Dean and Sam's adventures unfold in a wholly different way. Years since the show's conclusion, it continues to be held up as one of Supernatural's best ever episodes, and rightfully so.